Oh, okay, finally I'm on. Let's see. Pop out. Get this here. Pull this down. We're ready. So I'm not getting live chat. I don't know why. I think I'm already going live stream, but okay guys, I think I should be ready now. Yeah, it's been a fiasco this morning with all the setup going wrong. I got copyright violations for the NVIDIA live stream, so I wanted to fix that as well. So things have been a bit crazy this morning, so I'm delayed by 5 minutes. I'm going to make it very quick. If you look at all the futures, they are looking bright out here, but I have a word of caution. I think that NVIDIA earnings was pretty good. NVIDIA has not let the market down, and it has set up a nice tone for the future for the AI and the Mag 7, I would say, Mag 5, I would say. I would exclude Tesla from there. So having said that, I think that we have got a policy related kind of paralysis out here. It's the government policies and inconsistencies which is creating a lot of fear in the market and uncertainty in the market. That's what is keeping us down. So richly valued stocks are likely to go sideways, and less valued stocks are going to go up. And in the overall process, we may see the index moving sideways or upwards, but we'll see the Mag 7 and richly valued stocks like Palantir sort of coming down. That's what I'm expecting. I'm looking at NASDAQ futures out here, and even though we see a lot of greens in the morning, I'm just recalibrating this chart here to give you a close-up. You can see that we still have this resistance out here, which we need to break through from, right? And if I wanted to be even more specific, I could say that the resistance is out here in between these two. So right now, I think we'll have to check out what happens during the day. Maybe we start off the day positive, but somewhere 2 or 3 hours into the market, we can probably come back down again, because I think the risk factors of policy decisions like this 25% tariff on Europe, the postponed tariffs on Canada and Mexico, all of this makes one feel that whatever the government says, it cannot be believed. So the policy landscape is totally unclear. And when people are actually putting real money, they want a little bit of certainty, and that is not there right now. You could say that, okay, Trump is going to announce tariff, and then when the due date comes, he will postpone. But that's not a given, right? So there is no certainty out there. That's what is pushing the markets down and sideways, in my opinion. I think that there are low valued stocks which are starting to pick up, beaten down stocks which are starting to pick up, and that's what is keeping the index higher, and the richly valued stocks are going down. So that's what I am thinking is happening in the market. Now let's look at S&P 500, which is up 0.62% in the pre-market earnings. In the pre-market trades, and we are seeing this diagonal line of resistance out here along with the 21-day exponential holding it back. So during the day, I'm thinking that we'll get an idea whether there's a trend reversal pattern that we have here, or we are going to hit this diagonal line of resistance and start coming back, in which case we have a support at 59.71. So basically a sideways movement is what I'm looking at. MACD is still bearish, momentum is still not above average. And if we were to go ahead and look at the 10-year yield, they are starting to inch up. When the yields go up, the stock prices go down. And we are getting a resistance from the 200-day exponential and this diagonal line of resistance. MACD is very bearish, momentum is starting to pick up. So we don't know which way it's going to go. And if the yields start going up, you can see the markets coming down. And there is a lot of reasons for yields to go up. With all the tariff talks and everything, there is a good possibility that with the Doge cuts and all, that the consumer becomes weak and the inflation starts to fall, and as a result, the uh, Fed may decide to cut interest rates. So there is that possibility that is being talked about. But at the same time, the tariffs could increase the inflation. So we don't know what's going to happen. So I'm going to stay a bit on the sidelines and watch how things develop. Let's go on to look at genomics first today. All of genomics, I think when the market starts to retreat, consumer defensive goes up, so we should look at XLP before we end this session. And the other thing that goes up is the healthcare. So if we were to get into here and look at stock market heat map, and if we look at the healthcare sector, I'm expecting that if you look at it as a 1 month performance, we have medical devices, biotechnology, healthcare. All these are supposed to go green, and then consumer defensive is also supposed to go green. So I'm thinking that we are probably coming into that inflection point where a move into defensive would be in order. We'll investigate more about that as we proceed further. Hi guys, thanks for joining. I was in a bit of a panic in the morning because YouTube was not allowing me to go live. So we started 5 minutes late. I'm trying to push through as fast as possible. So what I was saying is that beaten down stocks are going to pick up, and richly valued stocks are going to move sideways and down because there is a policy uncertainty out there. We don't know who is going to be tariffed and when. We don't know how many people are going to be laid off because the government is putting us, the judiciary is kind of putting a stop there and reinstating. And sometimes Doge itself wants to rehire the people it had fired because they are crucial. There are also conflicting details about how much of cuts have been made. So everything is looking very messy. So when people are actually putting real money into the market, they want at least some kind of certainty, and that certainty is not there in the market. And therefore, I think we're going to see a sideways movement. Richly valued will give up value. Poorly valued will pick up value. And I'm thinking that as we go ahead, if economy starts going weak, we can expect consumer defensive to start picking up and consumer discretionary to start going down. So those are the movements that I'm expecting. So having said that, I think that when things go bad in the economy, medical sector and consumer staples, these are all the ones that are going to stay firm and go up because these are essentials like utilities. These are absolute essentials that people can't dispense with even in case of a recession. So those are the areas that we will move into. However, when we talk about healthcare sector picking up, I don't think we can include genomics as a given because genomics has still got a lot of risk. However, there are certain stocks in genomics that could still maintain value. One of them I think would be CRISPR, another would be Illumina and PACB and Vertex. So these are the ones that in this list that I see can probably retain value, and I would put Grail also into that basket. The rest of them, unless they come up with some monetized product, I don't think they're going to look that great. Now, I don't want to go through each and every one of these genomic stocks, but I want to talk about a few of them. CRISPR Therapeutics, let us look at CRISPR. It's up 2.21% in pre-market trades, and it's gone above this horizontal line of support. And out here, the momentum is a bit flat. Hopefully, if it picks up, we still have a resistance out here. So nothing much to talk about here, but I think that we still have our reverse head and shoulders target getting activated again. We'll take stock of that in the next few days and see whether it is still going to be working. Next, I want to talk about Grail, where we are up 0.39% this morning. So I'm seeing more of consolidation out here. We still have support of the 21-day exponential. The other one I want to look at is Altimmune, because Altimmune has already given out its earnings, and the earnings were not too bad. It was more or less close to where it was expected, but in the earnings we have got some really encouraging news, and I'm hoping that the market will start picking up on that. One of that is IND enabling of 2 more therapies using pemvidutide, and they are going to go directly into phase 2 in the middle of this year. So that is positive news. And I'm going to make a separate video on Altimmune earnings, so you can watch out for that. But basically, I'm feeling good about Altimmune, and I'm hoping that it will soon be reflected in the market prices as well. So that said, what else do I have here? Illumina. I'm watching Illumina. The more closer it comes to this green section out here at 90.70, and I think it will. I think I would like to nibble a little bit on Illumina at that time. 97.68 continues to be a resistance. And I'm going to make this a little thinner. And then what else do I want to talk about? That's about it. And Vertex, I think, is moving sideways and cooling off a little bit and getting more gradual in this bull channel. So this is okay. It's still above the 21-day and the 200-day. I'm not worried yet. MACD is bullish. Momentum is above average. So that's good. Now I'm going to go in for AI watch list. And here it is. So we have NVIDIA. So this is what I want to talk about first. NVIDIA earnings, I think, was pretty good. What more can you expect? I think the next round of growth for NVIDIA will come from its Omniverse. It has got factory environments where it has put all the parameters for Earth, like gravity and everything. And the idea is that you can design factory floors out there, and you can train virtual robots in there, and then bring it into real life and give the learnings to the robots directly. So that's something I'm very bullish about going forward. And regardless of whatever you may talk about DeepSeek and other things, I think overall NVIDIA has delivered, and I think NVIDIA will continue to deliver the next quarter as well. So the AI story is intact, and I think the weakness that we see here is something we can capitalize upon and start to build our long-term portfolio. I'm going to mark a lot of supports out here, which we got yesterday. I bought some NVIDIA yesterday, pre-market, so that's doing very well. That's okay. I think that NVIDIA will continue to go up and take the sector up along with it. So that said, I want to go and have a look at two of those instruments that you can use if you don't have $131 to put on NVIDIA. You could go long with NVDL, which is an ETF, and you could go short with NVDD, which is again another ETF. When we look at the semiconductor ETF, it's gaining marginally, but it's still in the consolidation mode because built in are other semiconductor companies which are not doing that well. And let us look at what's happening with AMD. It has picked up 1.46. I've got AMD shorts. AMDS is what I have bought because I'm thinking that we are going to stay under this diagonal line of resistance. I'll find out today. I think that we are already moved up above it, so I'm going to incur a little bit of loss in AMDS. But if someone wanted to play shorts, you could go for AMDS with AMD. Then Intel is up 1.28%. As long as it's above the 21-day exponential moving average, I'm okay. But I can see that the MACD is weakening and momentum is picking up a little bit. Let us see what Intel does today. But this pattern that we see out here from yesterday is a bullish pattern, so I'm thinking that we will be positive today on Intel. Maybe that will start creating higher lows and a new bull channel. We never know. But since we are below the 200-day exponential, I'm a bit doubtful about that. I want to see us go above the 200-day exponential. Then I will say that we are in a bull channel. We have this triple bottom also, which gave us that high. Now let's go on to SMCI, which is down 1.33% in pre-market trades. I have bought SMCI and it's in loss. Maybe I pulled the gun a bit late, pulled the trigger a bit late, but I'm still optimistic for SMCI because it lost a lot of value due to the financial headwinds, and I had put a lot of stock on the financial headwinds. Apart from that, I think it should pick up. It lost some business as well due to that, and those business should come back to it now that it's vindicated. So that's what I'm hoping for SMCI. It will be a little bit of a long haul, but still we have got higher lows and we are above the 200-day and the 20-day exponential, 21-day exponential. So I'm optimistic about that. Then let's look at Qualcomm for 0.41% gain after a 0.55% gain yesterday. And we have this diagonal line of resistance still working on it. I have investments in Qualcomm, which is going negative. So I'm hoping that we are able to break through from here. Momentum is picking up, but MACD has a lot of improvement to be done. And we have dividends coming up on 6th of March, 85 cents per share. I would be happy to get some of that to subsidize my cost of holding at this point of time. Google is up 0.85%. I think I would buy some Google today. It's in this line of, it's just bounced off from this huge area of support. So I'm thinking that it's going to go up at least until 182.02, which is the next resistance for it. So I'm looking at Google very positively this morning. I also think that we could have a dead cat bounce out here, but it could also be premature because in the past on the RSI scale we have gone to 26.81. But in any case, I think Google is a really good company to hold long term. So I could do my dollar cost averaging down. Instead of buying everything at once, I would buy in small installments and accumulate. We have Meta, which is up 1.50. I have bought FBL, Facebook long, which is a Meta long, and that's also doing well. So I think this is looking good out here. MACD is also on the mend and momentum is picking up, and with this pre-market lead, I'm thinking that we are going to get into a positive situation with the RSI. We'll go above average. We just need to break through this 21-day exponential moving average, which is holding us down in the pre-market session. But once the market opens, especially with NVIDIA news out there, I think we should start picking up. But again, it all brings me back to the policy paralysis that we have here, because reciprocal tariffs as well as special tariffs, especially on three of the big areas in the market, like Canada, Mexico, and Europe, Trump is really shaking the tree too much, and I think this is not a good look for the Mag 7. So Mag 7, especially Tesla, is likely to suffer more. And Hot Dog is saying AI plus genomics, the stock Pelosi bought a lot of. Yes, but I don't know what she is doing right now. I think NANC stock is going, ETF is going down. So we'll check that out before we close the live stream and try to see if we can make any sense out of it. Let's go on to Microsoft. Again, Microsoft is a blue chip in my opinion and needs to be gathered. And I think that I would start buying a little more of Microsoft as we go ahead. We had a resistance at around 399.89 that has been converted into a support. MACD has got to mend. Momentum is picking up. I'll watch Microsoft and see what happens. If we continue to break down below this support, then I could probably wait a little bit more. Again, dollar cost averaging is what I will look at. And if I'm going long on Microsoft, I think I would like to dollar cost average with Microsoft long. I'll put that ETF out here at a later date. Apple is down 0.57%. It's still bullish in my opinion. It's creating higher lows and it's on this diagonal line of support. It's also about 21-day and our 200-day exponential moving average, but it's starting to get weaker. But as the MACD tends towards the signal line and momentum drops, all I'm thinking about is that are we going to continue being above this diagonal line of support? Pre-market, we already fallen below the 21-day exponential, but we still have this support out here, diagonal line of support. I'm hoping that that will help us to do the bounce back again. Then we have Amazon, which is up 1.78% in pre-market shares. Again, this is could this be a trend reversal out here? We have a support at 215.77, and we are right now up 1.80% at 218.22. MACD is also improving. So AMZZ is something that I have bought. It's a Amazon long, and that is doing pretty well for me today. And we have AMZD, which is for Amazon short. That is something that you could also look at. And let's go to Tesla. Okay, so Tesla is showing a little bit of bounce this morning. I think that it's just a dead cat bounce that we are seeing. We are going to come down again and we're going to test the support at 284.42. I have bought TSLS. I have shorted Tesla and it's been moving up decently this morning. It's gone down, but it's still in the positive. And I'm of the opinion that we are going to get a bit of a cool down here, consolidation, and we are going to get a little bit of a dead cat bounce. And in the past, Tesla has gone down pretty significantly. It has gone down all the way to 16.66 on the RSI. So I wouldn't allow the RSI to tell me that Tesla is not going to go down. So that's my opinion out there. Again, personal advice and not financial advice. So guys, please do your own due diligence. This could be high risk because Tesla is known to have burnt a lot of short sellers. But right now, I think with Elon Musk and his toxic persona, the sales are dropping in multiple geographies. And also with this tariff business, the automobile sector is going to hit. But you also saw GM pulling out really good earnings and doing stock buybacks. And the stark contrast between Tesla and GM out there seems to indicate that Tesla probably is not going to do very well. So I'm going with the shorting. I've already shorted a very small short position in one of the portfolios that I'm not sharing with you guys, but that is doing okay. Then we have, this is Apple longs. Let us leave that aside. Then let us go on to Broadcom. Broadcom is up 2.33% in pre-market trades. I'm still thinking that we got to do this cover up out here. Broadcom is reciprocating to the NVIDIA earnings. So there is a good possibility that if NVIDIA starts taking off and the animal spirits come back again, this gap will be left for some other day. So right now, I think we're going to have a kind of support out here to do the gap fill. I'll put the support here at this is 198.64 is the next support for Broadcom. And then I'm looking at Oracle, which is also valiantly picking up. It picked up 1.26%. Fundamentally, I think Oracle is a very strong stock and it's got a very steady hand, not too much of a hype, but there is a gap up that has got to be filled up someday or the other. And these gaps which were created later on have already been filled up. So I think we're going to go steady. We're going to go up. MACD is on the mend. Momentum is above average. And we have earnings coming up on 13th of March 2025. So I'd look forward to the earnings, a little bit of consolidation towards earnings. And Palantir, again, is a richly valued stock in the theme of what I said at the beginning of the live stream. I'm personally thinking that Palantir is going to drop and it's going to go down further. It's already done the gap fill, but the cut in the defense budget and also policy uncertainties are going to weigh in extra heavy on Palantir. MACD is very bearish. Momentum is also below average. So that's my spiel on that. And Adobe continues to go down. It's up 0.22% in pre-market trades, but I think it's on its way down. This cup and handle target, I have given up on that. I also sold holdings of Adobe with profits. And ARM holding is up 2.61%, above the 21-day exponential, but below the 21-day exponential, but above the 200-day exponential. So it's still bearish in my opinion, and we have some support out here at 129.89. MACD momentum do not inspire confidence, but you never know, the NVIDIA effect can start pulling it up, so I'm giving the benefit of doubt out there. ASML is also doing well. It's up 0.16%. Consolidating. MACD is improving. Momentum has picked up. I am still looking forward to cup and handle 795.52. FNGD, I won't talk about it. I don't want to talk about that now. I think let's go to Rigetti. Rigetti is up 0.32%. It's still not doing that great, but it's about 200-day exponential. So I'll give a little bit to that. And also the momentum is pretty low and MACD is very bearish. We have earnings coming up on 5th of March. Hopefully we hear something in the earnings that gives a catalyst. I'm still holding the loss-making position, and I think I've more or less wiped out the losses from selling off 100 of those Rigetti at a very low rate. Now SMR is up 5.40%. I think SMR should benefit from the NVIDIA news. The data center business is still going strong. So I'm hoping that we stay in this diagonal line of resistance. We are already diagonal line of support in the bull channel. We are already up there, but I'm not hoping this 32.40 is going to come true anytime soon. But I'm seeing some improvement here, cautiously optimistic. And let us go and look at Nancy. So Hot Dog, you were saying that Nancy Pelosi bought AI plus genomics. That's a good place to be in. But it also depends on how much she bought as a proportion to the overall portfolio. Right now, Nancy is looking very weak out here. MACD is absolutely bearish. Momentum is below average. A little bit of sign of hope out here, thanks to NVIDIA results, I believe. But we'll have to see what happens when the market continues to manifest. in the background of all the other things that I mentioned, which are not conducive. Then let us look at what else do we have here. That's about it. I think I would like to wind up today's session after looking at crypto. We need to go and look at crypto. That's very important. But let me look at XLP, which is consumer staples. I think we have to start looking at consumer staples. This drop out here could be a good buying opportunity. So I would like to think that XLP could be our next vehicle to ride our way up. And the cooling has already happened. And I'm thinking that in another day or so, the market will start giving up gains as the memory of the NVIDIA earning fades. And I think we could probably see the staples coming up. That said, let us go on to indicators and look at gold. What is gold doing? Gold is down 1.01%, getting support from the 21-day exponential. The overheated RSI has already cooled down. MACD is absolutely bearish. Could be a buying chance for gold because it may resume its way up as the currency starts getting debased and devalued. Gold is what is going to hold the value. So I'm thinking in the long term, this could be a buying opportunity. Again, personal opinion, not financial advice. Overall breadth is also shrinking. The number of companies in the S&P 500 which are above their 20, 50 and 100-day exponential moving average are dropping. So this again shows that the NVIDIA effect is kind of camouflaging the drop in the market. So one has to be careful because when the drop comes, it could be sudden. So that said, I'm going into currencies. Let us look at currencies out here. And I'm looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is doing a bit of a smart recovery this morning in sympathy with what is happening in the stock market. We have a resistance out here at 87,461, which is what is going to provide a resistance for Bitcoin. I'm thinking that Bitcoin is moving towards, I think, somewhere around 80,514 before it goes towards around 76,000. So that's the trajectory I'm seeing for Bitcoin, and ultimately I'm thinking it will go all the way up to 73,000 before bouncing back up. MACD is absolutely bearish. Momentum is below average. It had a dead cat bounce, and I'm thinking that it's going to go down again further. Ethereum is also showing a little bit of a dead cat bounce here in my opinion, and we have the diagonal line of support out here. MACD is still bearish, so Ethereum may also go down. Those who are long-term crypto, I think they can add a little more. I'm going to add a little more to my IBIT to take care of Bitcoin. And Inf, yesterday you asked me about Ethereum ETF. I think I would rather Google Ethereum ETF. There are plenty out there. Any of them that you choose would be a good vehicle. And then what else do we have? That's about it. That's all I got for today, my friends. Do you have anything that you would like to analyze or talk about, or any opinions or trade ideas? Please put it in the comment section, and then we'll move from that. Yeah, our semiconductor side is doing much better. Consumer defensive is dropping, energy is dropping, real estate dropping, utilities dropping. Yeah, so buy the dip. Yeah, I would say dollar cost average the dip, because it could not go, it may not go down straight. It may go a little up and then down, a little up and then down, that way. And Berkshire has lost value out here. This will be a buying opportunity for me to get into Berkshire on the Canadian side. So this is starting to look good. I have plenty of cash on the sidelines. I think one of our other subscribers, David, also has got a lot of cash on the sidelines. So we are all well positioned, and I hope you guys are too, so that you could do dollar cost averaging and wait for the next jump up. So with that, my friends, I'd like to bring this live stream to an end.